Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Banished. My name is Uthris and we are progressing this episode. We are starting to make a little bit of iron, enough for me to finish that campfire, which we're going to get into this episode. And I'm going to get rid of the chicken coop in the middle here. I'm going to try out some of the new modded buildings. This is a vanilla building, right? This is a modded gameplay. I can't have this thing here. So, long term, it's producing some food, again, around that 200 range, which again, is perfectly fine for how many people are working here. However, we're going to go ahead and just empty it. We're going to empty it so that we can take it down. We'll harvest all these leghorns, feels bad, man. F's in chat for the chickens. But we need to do this so that I can use some of the modded resources to make a little bit more of a custom pasture. Something a little bit more unique to what we have here. I think it has to wait until these chickens grow. Okay, noted. Don't want to kill the chickens a little too soon, right, guys? We want to harvest them when they're ready. We're up to 6 students, by the way. It's year 5. Year 5. 5 years after the shipwreck. Our village is doing well. Spring. Year 5. This campfire. We're gonna make mushroom soup with it. It's gonna take it's gonna take about 8 mushrooms, 1 herb, 1 water, 1 firewood to create 13 to 17 mushroom soup. Okay, so for those who keeping track, in terms of food production, that is almost doubling your food production on your. It's definitely like a 50, at least a 50% to a 100% increase on that food type. So that's great. And we have a lot of mushrooms because we have a gatherer's hut. So turning those mushrooms, making it into a food item that is hopefully a little bit higher quality and more of it, that'll be even better. So we're down to 2 chickens left in that coop. But for this to work, we need water. And we are kind of running low on our professionals, right, in a way. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this stone gatherer. I don't think it's really doing much for us. We can just gather the stone ourselves when we need to, so I'm gonna back that out and make something a little bit more useful. I'm gonna bump our gatherers down to 4 from 5 because this technically took 1 away anyway, so we'll just use them and throw that over here to the water well. That way we can produce water, and if we produce water, we'll use that water for this to cook us a nice soup. Mwah. It's gonna be great, and we'll see how much food this produces. It'll be interesting. Sometimes modded things can be pretty broken. And I do want to take advantage of that fully here in our playthrough because, if I want to build a large city in the long term of this series, then I'm going to need all the help that I can get. Look at all that iron we have in here. I like the new iron pile that they have. That's pretty cool looking. We need some more storage, just some bulk storage, I would say. So we're gonna just kind of throw it back here behind the little tailor's workshop for now. I think that's reasonable. We have 1 more home out here near the edge, the forest edge. That's hopefully gonna allow us to, I think, not quite get rid of this little tent. So we might need to build a small Celtic home out here. I don't think I can fit it on this peninsula. I would have to kind of get rid of something to do that, but I can fit it here. Kind of like that. And then I'll just mark this one for a deletion. And we'll go from there. We'll go ahead and back out one of our builders because currently not really building anything. Is this thing still not harvested? It is not, so we'll just fast forward time until this empties out. Because I want to rework this area here. Please harvest your chickens. Thank you, and thank you. Alright. So this building served us pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and make them into a laborer. That way we can have one laborer and one builder while we still kind of manage the town here. Our food, 2,500, it's going up. It's doing real well. This fishing thing over here, this is producing so much food for one person working on it. Great decision, I would say so. Pat on the back. We're doing well. We are doing well. We're getting water, and we are starting to cook mushroom soup. One person has to work here. Again, if this one person doesn't make at least 200 food, now granted, they are taking some food to make the 200 food, you know, it's not worth it. It just won't be worth it. But we'll have to wait and see. How long until this thing is torn down? Please tear this down. I would like this to be torn down. A little sooner rather than later. Where the heck is our builder? Getting something to eat? Now's not the time to eat. Now's the time to build. We're gonna build and progress. Probably pretty slowly. We're playing Banished, for goodness sake. Sometimes this game can go a little slow. Oh, I think the builder's on their way over now. Yep, they are. Good. Now, another reason we're getting rid of this chicken coop is just simply the noise. The chicken noise was starting to get a little annoying. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's starting to get a little annoying. So we'll come back. We're gonna do an animal shed here instead. So we'll do, I think we'll do an animal shed like that. Try and decide. Maybe I won't be able to get a cheese shed in there too, but we can get a sheep shed. And the purpose of this is I kind of want to get a little bit more of a decorative looking area. You know? Kind of really want that this whole place to just look real good. And to do that, we're gonna have to hand fence this in, I think. Let's see if that looks okay. It may not. With these ghost images, you kind of don't know until you make it, so you have to kind of take your time with it. Let's harvest all those trees too. Alright, good. We've gotten a few new laborers. That's what I wanted to see. More laborers. That's good. Now, how's this thing doing? 146 still in the current season. Could be better. But he might have to walk a distance to get that mushroom, which may delay his time on here for sure. But you know, I think it's worth it. All right, so we're getting that. Let's go back. Ghost image. We'll get some more fence pieces. Something like that. To there, and then we need a corner. And then we'll do a gate. And something like that. That should, in theory, as long as I space that out kind of correctly, should seal this up. You know, that's really what I want to see. Alright, so this is working, I guess. I don't know. Like, we have a cow and a chicken in here, I guess. I don't know how effective they are. In here, textile limit, or we'll be shearing some sheep, kind of for free, without having to do the whole trading post and stuff. Now, these probably aren't really efficient, if I have to guess. It's probably just a supplemental kind of thing, but I think it looks a little bit better than the old shed. And it's not as loud with the chickens, which I appreciate a lot. Textile limit's 200. How about the limit of textiles? What kind of textile limit am I at? How am I amount of stored textiles? Wool. I think we have a whole bunch of leather somewhere. And leather apparently is not the same as hide. I think we need a tannery. Or does feathers count as textile? Feathers might count as textile. So if we bump that up to 800, see if that helps. No? Okay. How about 1,000? There's no way we're at 1,000 textiles. We're not at 1,000 textiles. How are you not working? That fix it? I think that fixed it. Okay, so we should be producing wool now, to some degree. Wow, both people that works in this pen, they're both yellow shirt, white skirt. Okay, we got twinsies in here. Okay, and boom, we have a good fence. So I think that looks a little bit better, for sure, as we're coming to late winter year 5. Food is okay still. We still got, you know, some population waiting to become laborers. So we're kind of stuck at this point until population kind of increases a little bit. But again, I want to do it slowly. I want to make sure people get some education. You know, 1 herb, 1 water. We got Water? No, no way we're out of water. Where's our water getting stored? That's my question. Where are you storing your water, guy? I have no idea where you're doing that. But okay, it's early spring. Hey, you're 6. All right, things that we need to do to keep this thing rolling. We need to increase the population. We need to secure an additional food source, probably an additional lumber source. So you know how we have this kind of little outpost like this out here? We might need one to the north at the edge of town. And then also one over here to the, what is this? Technically this would be west. So this is south of town, and then west. In fact, if I do north-south orientation, our town is more like this. So south of town, we need another one of these. So we need to go ahead and start that. And gatherers huts tend to be kind of the best thing to build early on. So I might put it a little bit more central rather than straight south. I might put it a little bit more central like this. And then let's grab a new hunting cabin and also a village forester kind of layout. Something like that. We'll get some homes. How many families can this fit? Again? Supports 3 families to the... Yeah, you know, maybe doing one big, maybe it's a big family operation out here. Just for good measure, we'll maybe have a tent as well. And then we can get some storage. We're gonna need some log stockpile. So we'll throw that out the back there, and we'll get another wagon. Kind of up here. Something like that. So we can have some storage. Meantime, I need to harvest some trees so we can get a quick influx of wood. I need to harvest these stones down here so we can get some stone as well. And now we just wait and see this thing pop up. This will just be a good edge of town resource gathering point, you know. Again, the point of this kind of beginning village town is provide a good bedrock so that we can then proceed out of it into, you know, some more parts of the mod, right? Because, you know, Celtic stuff only takes you so far, you know. They're light farmers, they're, you know, gatherers, hunters. They're not really, you know, industrial revolution type of stuff. So, you know, I'm hesitant to build those type of buildings out here just because it doesn't fit, right? And I could just sit here and upgrade the town, but I kind of don't want to do that. I want to, you know, give Alford almost like be a regent rather than the town. So, preserver logs is low. I'm not surprised. Alright, so this gatherer's hut is working. I'm going to turn it off for now, just so it doesn't you know, take anyone from the other location because we don't have enough people yet. Yes, logs low. Understood. Now, a bit of an issue with this, right, is I can kind of watch our food go down a little bit, so little concerned about that. I don't know if I want to do another fishing point. It might be a good idea to do. It's producing 204 soups here. I have a feeling this might not be worth it. You know, it's just a feeling. Definitely looks cool. May not be worth it. Let's get up to 2 builders just to kind of speed this thing along. You know, it's, you know, they worked all year on this new little expansion. So it's super important. So 4. Keep this at 4. This hunting lodge. Kind of do 2 here. 2 here might be okay. I mean, what are they gathering? About 200 logs a season. That's not really good. But also not super bad, just not good. Yep, need this thing built. And so what your guys are gonna notice is when we go in and say this isn't too far away from the village, right? It's just right down the road essentially. In fact, we could probably build, what's a country road look like? We could probably build a road out to here. Something like that. Just so it's a little bit quicker. But this isn't very far from our village. And, you know, it takes a while for our builders to get out here. And when we decide on the final location of, like, our actual city, right, we're going to probably start with building farmland, okay? That way we can support a moving transient population. And then move into the city at that point. So we'll see. Sometimes this stuff goes sideways real quick. Who are you? You are a forester. Do I have 3 foresters, really? Okay, well. He can start his way up here then. And boom. Just like that. We have some storage for the gatherer's hut. And the new hunter's lodge. Not a huge fan of this foresty road. What does this look like? Does this look better? You know, again, there's just so many options. It's hard to see, you know, really what I want. Nope, not what I want. Let's try some of the DS stuff, because we're using the DS buildings. So maybe these DS roadways will look good. Right? Maybe. Kinda just never know. So that's started. And so how many hunters we got? We got 204, so we're gonna upgrade that. How many gatherers do we got? 4 of 8. So we'll bump it up to 6 of 8. Foresters, we'll do 4. I think that's reasonable. Definitely reasonable. Got a hunter-gatherer living out here. We'll see. They might need another house. We'll find out, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade the limit of logs to like 600 so that we can start kind of getting a better supply of them. And maybe the last resource point will be over here. So again, it's just repeating the same thing, right? So we're gonna do another gatherer's hut kind of deal. I'm looking to see if there's a different one that I want to use, but to be honest, this one's kind of the best. So we'll use that. Get a nice rustic looking hunting cabin thing there. And then we'll go forestry. Logging barge, that's weird. Tiny forester? Do I want to use maybe a different forester's lodge? The village forester is just pretty cool looking. This one's kind of interesting. It's almost like its own sawmill. So maybe we can do that just to have a different look to it. Could be cool. Now storage. Wouldn't mind doing a different barn type. Just to kind of mix it up, you know? That's a pretty looking barn. Ooh, there's some Celtic ones. I had no idea. Why am I surprised though? There's been Celtic everything else. So yeah, no, that's great. So we'll use a Celtic one just to keep the Celtic theme a little bit, which would be cool. And now we just wait for this to pop up again. This, we will have to harvest some more stone. Sad fact of life is stone's gonna get harder and harder to come by. Okay, got enough hunters. You know what? I think I'm just gonna stick with the standard dirt road. I've tried like 5 variants now of this thing, and nothing really seems to fit. That's good. Which is actually a strong testament to how decent the default dirt road is. You know, it works. It's effective. You know, you don't really need it to do much else than what it currently is doing. So let's do 4, 4, 2, 2. We're just gonna, you know, kind of get a road curving its way out here. And the way you do curves in this game is really no different than pixel art, right? You just gotta have that mindset of, you know, 2 then 1 then 2 going the opposite direction. You can, you know, it's gonna look pixely. It's not gonna look perfect, but it is going to function. No one's using my Celtic village house, which is a little disappointing that they aren't. I get the feeling that it's more like a boarding house than anything, so that's noted, I guess. So let's give them a little bit of a proper home. This place is coming online, so we'll stop work on it as well. Just not to spread people too thin. We'll make this area online when it's we're a little bit more progressed, and we'll turn that on. Like right now, I don't think we necessarily need it. We just need a few, you know, a bit of a higher population before we turn this on. And then we'll expand the town out a little bit more, you know, and I think that that point we'll start considering what to do next. This episode ran a little long. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. If you guys want to see some more Banished, do let me know. I know it's a dreary day whenever I do an outro here, it seems. Not what I wanted. It's not super pleasant to look at, everything all gray like this, but it is what it is. They are up to 30 adults, 7 students, and 6 children. That's a pretty good ratio, and they're just getting stronger. These guys are doing real well for being stranded. So, anyways, if you want, subscribe for more creative goodness such as this. Go ahead and leave a comment and a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.